The divine masculine energy is the ordering principle behind the creation of reality. It is the impulse of energy that creates conditions where life thrives. Although everybody does have masculine and feminine energies, this video is specifically for the men who want to step into their divine masculinity the way that the ancients did, to have more mastery over themselves and their reality, unlocking the creative potential that comes along with having a male body. So today we will cover the true divine masculine energy using ancient esotericism, how imbalanced masculine energy looks like, and 8 steps to align with your masculine power as a man. Now, we're absolutely not going to be covering none of this fake, superficial, alpha male, red pill community type of masculinity that a lot of people are starting to associate masculine energy with. We are going to be covering the true ancient principle using the principle of gender from Hermeticism. So let's get started. So what is the divine masculine energy? In order to understand the divine masculine energy, we must understand the principle of the beginning of creation. So the principle of Hermeticism of gender states that there are 2 forces that create reality, that come together to create everything you see, including you and the material world that you're seeing in front of you. The feminine energy, which is the vision, right? It is the vision, the love, the creative wound, and the masculine energy that comes and takes this vision and makes it into a reality, okay? It orders it. So basically think of the feminine as the matrix itself and the masculine as the coder of the matrix. So with that being said, the masculine energy is the external world, okay? So inside of everybody, by the way, because everybody has both masculine and feminine energies, it is the external, okay? It is the realm of the conscious mind, that 5%, right? While the feminine energy would be the realm of the internal world, which would be the subconscious mind as well. The masculine energy is the order, right? The structure, and that force that wills this creative energy into existence. So it's the will and the action. Now, another cool thing about the masculine energy is that since it is the realm of the conscious mind, it is also the identity, okay? AKA the ego. Oh my god, I spelled that so bad. Identity, and what I mean with ego, right? Because a lot of people in the spiritual realm, they're like, oh my god, is the ego bad? The ego is not bad. Of course, if you go to an extreme, which we're going to talk about, that's when it becomes bad. But the thing about the ego is that it helps you separate yourself from another person. Because the truth is that yes, we are all one. We are all the same force, the same energy, the same impulse of consciousness, but we are individuals, okay, in this illusion. So this is the identity, the force that allows you to be an individual and have your individual journey, expression, and have that uniqueness about you. And that, my friend, is your ego. It's basically like your mask. And the feminine energy, we're not going to cover too much in this video just because we want to put the focus on the masculine, but it's really just the connection to the heart, the connection to the collective as well, vision and creative force. Although everybody has both masculine and feminine energies, the bodies were created after these 2 energies for the sake of creation, right? We need reproduction. So the male body was created after the masculine energy, and the female body was created after the feminine energy. This is why they can retain more of those energies. The male body was created to concentrate more masculine energy, hence why biologically men are stronger than women. They are also faster than women. They have more spatial awareness, and they're proven to use more of the rational and logical side of the brain as well, by the way. I didn't put that here. But that is, I'm not saying that women cannot do that, okay? I'm saying that men are more likely to do that. The reason why the masculine or the male sign is also the same exact sign that Mars has, it is because Mars is the impulse of life force. Mars is also the planet of vitality, energy, sexual energy. And Mars is also the planet of war because it is ruled by the god Ares. Okay, Ares is a Greek god for war. He is a warrior. He is Aphrodite's husband, and also the god of agriculture, which many people don't actually know. Before Aries was ever recognized as a god of war and competition and vitality, sexual impulse, etc., he was recognized as the one who would make the lands fertile and create an environment for life to thrive and grow. Aries rules the first sign of astrology, Aries, and that's because it is the initial impulse of life that actually orders and makes things reality, right? That's why Aries is also in March, and March is named after Mars as well, right? Now in ancient Greece, they would see the male body as the vessel of virtue, readiness, life force, and overall purpose that is expressed through the mind and the body. And everybody, of course, has the Mars energy inside of them, right? Once again, because we all have the different archetypes of the planets within us. But Mars rules specifically the muscular system, it rules the adrenal system, and also it rules the sexual organs. And in the sexual organs, you can find life force. This is why men have more of a connection to these different aspects than women do. Now, men have a passive energy point when it comes to the sacral chakra, which is the chakra of creative energy, the chakra for the emotions, pleasure, and in many cases also spiritual gifts, right? Because it comes with sensitivity. But here it doesn't mean that men don't have emotions, but it's more of something that they repress quite a lot, like that energy of sensitivity. This is also a feminine energy center, but the heart is really the connection to spiritual abilities, the connection to the collective, the connection to passion, empathy. Now, when it comes to the heart chakra, men tend to have this one a little bit more closed off. So the heart chakra it's basically the portal between the lower chakras, which are the earthly chakras, and the upper chakras, which are more of the spiritual ones. So this is a very feminine energy center as well, and it tends to be a center of the connection to what the law of one, to others, and overall just empathy and compassion. This is why it's very important for men to use their voice in order to direct energy. And the last one, which would be the third eye and crown chakra, this is more of a passive center for men. So it's very, very, very important for them to develop this in their lifetime to not fall victim or fall to the fall of consciousness of the lower chakras, right? So this would be the crown, the connection to spirit. But that doesn't mean that he needs to be in his feminine energy. Once again, integration of the feminine energy is very different than actually being in your feminine energy, okay? So we're gonna talk about all of that today. So let's talk real quick about imbalances or signs of imbalance, because it's super important to understand that even when you have alignment with these two energies, you eventually are going to fall off that, and that is totally part of the journey, because in order for you to even expand into a new version of yourself, you need to lose yourself for a little bit. So let's talk about imbalances super quickly, right? The thing about the divine masculine energy is that once again, he needs to be connected with the divine feminine energy in order to even be in this union, right? Have more conscious control over his reality. So the moment that you begin to fall into extremes and disconnect from the feminine energy, you're going to manifest a life that is ego-centered, okay? So controlled or dominated by the ego. And when you begin to become dominated by the ego, the masculine energy is the external. You begin to put more importance on the external realm rather than spirit, right, or God. So that's the thing about the masculine energy and fall of consciousness. It can turn into greed, it can turn into pride, it turns into control, right? Because the masculine energy without the flow of the feminine energy, instead of order, it begins to manifest the fall of consciousness, which is control, and that can turn into abuse. So of course, different archetypes for this extreme, I have talked about it in this video right here, and how the fallen father, right, or the dark father works inside both men and women. So you can see this fall of consciousness with the archetype of the greedy capitalist man who wants to go and, you know, rule over other people, and they want to hoard money, etc. Okay, so this is basically when the fall of consciousness, when you go to the masculine energy, happens. But there's men who can also go into the extreme of the feminine, which is really important to notice, because I'm talking to both of you who are in extremes or are looking to get more in balance, right? So there's many men who go into the extreme of the feminine, and the extreme of the feminine inside men looks as impotence. I don't know how to say that word, but basically not being able to realize your dreams, okay? You lack taking action. you lack organization in life. It's basically the archetype of like the failed artist, right? The artist who, you have all these creative ideas, you even probably have that connection to your spiritual, but you're not doing anything externally. You're not taking action. You don't really have order. And this can also look as the victim mentality, right? So this can manifest in like that feeling of not being seen, the feeling of not being recognized, or just not having really much to provide to the world, which could be very hurtful to a man, because at the end of the day, men are wired to want to work in the material, to want to create in structure. So now that we have these extremes settled, let's talk about how to actually align into the divine masculine energy. The first step is all about alignment with the heart and the higher purpose. Let me explain why. So the male body is predisposed to having an open to solar plexus, root, and throat chakra. Now this is very, very great. We are going to be working more on strengthening these centers in the next few steps. But because of this, since they have passive centers in the crown and the heart, they can tend to become dominated by the ego, like I showed you, right? Part of, once again, maturing as a man is to integrate the feminine energy. And one of the best ways to actually do so is to connect to a higher purpose. In ancient times, the warriors would meditate on their heart right before battle, so they can make sure that their sword would still serve a just purpose. So it's very important that when it comes to taking action, when it comes to actually doing things in your life, you are serving a higher purpose than you. You are integrating this aspect, right? The divine, and you are cultivating the connection with the heart, which is the connection to oneness, right? Like, what purpose are you here to serve? Like, how can you actually serve the collective? How can you improve and make an impact in this world? This is very important for men to have super straight, because it helps them integrate this aspect of the feminine energy inside of them, so they don't go into extremes and begin to serve the ego instead. And in Taoism, the spirit of Shen is the spirit of the heart, and it's very important for men to be connected to this before they ever take action in anything, okay? A man who is connected to his heart and is connected to a higher purpose knows what to surrender to and what to sacrifice himself for, what to fight for. This is the archetype of the warrior of light, the one who is here to actually use his masculine energy in order to make a better world. Remember, Mars has everything to do with creating spaces where life thrives, okay? So this is what I mean, you have to align with the heart. All right, so the second step is to transmute emotion. This is extremely important for men. This actually applies to people who are like really in the masculine, really in the feminine, it doesn't matter. So one of the things about Mars is that he is also the planet of rage, okay? So men could become super reactive when it comes to their emotions. Once again, just because you have a passive center in the sacral chakra, which is the center of emotions, doesn't mean that you don't have emotions, okay? It just means that they are more repressed, that you notice them less, okay? So because of this, men tend to carry the weight of the world sometimes, or like that's how they feel, okay? But they don't notice that's actually how they feel. They can handle stress easier, but the thing is that it builds up, right? And it can feel like pressure and constant, striving to get better, which can lead to rage because they're repressing themselves. So it's very important for men to transmute their emotions properly. Now, the reason why martial arts is called the way it is because it comes from Mars energy. Okay, it is the way for men to transmute this fire inside of them into something productive that will center and discipline this fire within them. That way, this rage begins to become creation instead of destruction, okay? So, transmuting emotion, in order to transmute emotion for men, yes, martial arts are very important. We're going to talk about martial arts in a little bit. Through building a practice of feeling emotions in a healthy way. Okay, so a practice of feeling emotions, so feeling and reflecting on them rather than reacting to them. Now, obviously, you can see I'm not a man, but my husband is actually really good at doing this. And the way that I see him do it, because we've talked about a lot, I always ask him like, hey, like, how does it work to like really like process emotions, as a man as well, because I know it's very different for both of us. And the way that he does it, obviously, when we, are talking and he likes to take some time for himself, he likes to tell me, okay, I'm gonna take some time and I'm gonna feel what I have to feel in privacy, and then I'm going to reflect on what I felt and why I was feeling that way. That way I can communicate with you clearly, right? So he's somebody who never ever screams. He never reacts in a negative way with his emotion either. And this is so important for men because it helps them be centered and actually tame the fire within them. So building a practice where you begin to reflect and notice before you react, super important. Now, other ways that men are supposed to process emotions is through physical action, right? Through external movement. So you can do it through art, you can do it through physical activity, you can do it through, once again, martial arts or MMA, etc., right? Just any way that you can get this vitality out and move this energy towards the external is going to be wonders for working with the emotions. And this is also a way, right, to actually feel your emotions instead of repressing them, is a way to open up the heart chakra. Okay, the more that you can allow yourself to feel and notice what's within you, what's going on with the flow inside of you, the more that you're actually integrating that part of the feminine energy. Now, since we are talking about martial arts, the third step, and this is so important for men, is to discipline the body, okay? So about disciplining the body, the reason why this is so important is because, once again, Mars is the ruler of the external forces, right? Like the muscular system, the adrenal system. So it's super important for men to actually connect with their bodies in this way, to honor their bodies as an instrument of excellence, okay? This is the concept of Andrea in ancient Greece, where they would use this concept as a way to describe like the excellent man, a man who is working on his body, a man who is mastering his mind, and a man who is actually mastering his spirit. But all of these need to all be aligned, okay? So once again, martial art was something that was created in order for men to train themselves and to discipline the body, not just becoming extremely stronger, but actually genuinely disciplining the fire inside of you through the expression of the body, where your body almost becomes a weapon. I know some people are like, oh, that's bad, but yeah, to where your body becomes a weapon that you have complete control over. My husband always tells me it is better to be a warrior in a garden than to be a gardener in a battle. It is so important for men to concentrate masculine energy in their bodies through physical excellence. Okay, so if you're not going to the gym as a man, start going to the gym. Get a personal trainer. Begin doing martial arts, or begin to actually work your body out, moving more. You don't need to start out completely like from 0 to 100. You can start out slow, right? That's how you actually program habits into your life. But it's so important for you to connect with your men. I promise you, the moment that you begin to look at your body as a temple of excellence, you're going to build your confidence to the extreme. Like your confidence is going to spike. You're going to feel much more powerful. You're going to feel good in yourself. And this, of course, allows you to truly take advantage of your root chakra, right? The connection to the physical. Once again, Andrea is that manly virtue where you are expressing courage through that physical excellence. Now, number 4 is to strengthen the mind. So one of the most important things for men, besides actually strengthening his body, is to actually strengthen his mind as well. Men are rulers of the conscious mind, okay, of the conscious realm. So it's very important for you to fill your conscious mind with knowledge, okay? So learn new skill sets. Learn new things. Actually put yourself towards like tests of like mental strength. Okay, build your mental muscles. There's so many apps for this. I do this myself, but so many apps for you to actually build your ability to think and to solve problems. Super important, right? To fill yourself with new knowledge, learn about history, learn about different topics that you actually enjoy. To me, it's actually so sexy when a man can genuinely tell me about all of these different things that he knows and to educate me on things that I didn't know. This is what I love about my husband. When he speaks, I'm just like, okay, I love that he just knows about all of these topics that I don't know. Like he randomly tells me facts as well that I would have never thought, like, how do you even know that, you know? But anyways, I love that. And it's the truth, right? Like, men are rulers of the throat chakra as well, because the sword archetype in the tarot card is a masculine principle of air. You're meant to cut through illusion with your sword of logic, of clarity, of wisdom. You want to not only learn new skills and knowledge, but don't forget about the integration part, okay? Action is it's like one of the most important masculine principles here. Actually making a structure out of all the things that you learn, taking action. Integration is part of learning it and truly absorbing this knowledge to its fullest potential, okay? So actually taking action, super important. You want to avoid being that gym bro that, you know, has no mental power. He's very buff, very big, very strong, but he doesn't know much. You ask him about things and he's not really that smart, right? I'm not targeting anybody specifically here, but that is an archetype that we see quite a lot. So it's very important for you to not only strengthen your physical body, but also strengthen your mind. There's another concept in ancient Greece called arete, which is a symbol of true excellence as well, such as Andrea. This one's one that more like men and women can embody, but the warriors in Greece, or the men, were expected to actually embody this symbol, which included physical, mental, and moral bravery, the epitome of like what true masculinity really is. All right, so number 5 is to transmute sexual energy. So remember, since you guys have a very active center in the root chakra, which has also the sexual organs, and Mars rules the sexual organs and sexual impulse, it tends to get a little bit not controlled. Like, it tends to get a little bit out of control if you don't really have a direction for it. And that's when you leak it out completely, okay? I am talking about semen retention and lust control. Because the sexual organs are so electric for men, without any type of control over your lust, you begin to leak out this life force within you. And this biologically begins to lower your testosterone. So you're quite literally going more into the feminine by leaking out your life force. Sexual energy is creative energy. This means that in order to transmute your sexual energy, you need to take purposeful action, which goes back to step number 1, right? Which is actually typing into a purpose in order for you to want to take action and structure your life around that. So it's very important for you to also use your sexual energy to do that, because once again, sexual energy is creative energy. That means that if you really harness it properly, you can get ideas that are out of this world. You can begin to have more vitality within you and more energy to take action. Ancient texts like the Ayurveda, Taoism, Tantra state how important it is for you to retain your semen, okay? Because once again, your semen is your life force. If you are wasting your life force, you are quite literally wasting your energy, your life energy. So they would say that when the man depletes himself completely of jinn, he dies, right? I'm not saying you're gonna die. He depletes himself of all those things that he can use to create an amazing reality externally, right? Because when you actually retain this life force, you improve your creative power, your creative genius. You can easily start to take action because you have more energy now. You gain more clarity, more ambition, more presence, and it honestly helps you so much to tap into that power of yours as a man. Let me tell you a story, because the thing is that it's proven by science, by the way, that the more that you ejaculate, the more that you lose testosterone. And this makes you essentially, esoterically as well, more feminine. And when you become more feminine, you become more passive, more submissive, and it makes you easier to control, by other forces. Let me tell you a story. So there was this time like a year ago where my husband and I went to my friend's bar, and we were, ordering some drinks, and I see this dude that is like sitting right in front of me, and he's looking a little bit like, like with his posture like this, and looking a little weird. So when I go to call my husband over, he kind of calls me over and he's like, hey, like, how are you? Because in Brazil, when I was there, people would just talk amongst each other. Like, my husband and I are super secure, so he doesn't really mind if, I say hi to another person. And he started talking to me. And when he was talking to me, his voice was very like this and like high pitched in a sense. And the way that he would talk was a little creepy. Like, there wasn't like anything in special like that. His words said that, that were actually creepy, but his energy was creepy. And he just seemed like there was like this weird energy, like this feminine energy that was just lustful inside of him. And I was able to see that, like with the way that he was talking and the way that he was looking at me like I was prey, literally. So I was like, oh, this dude is kind of weird. And so then I go to my husband, he's like, man, like I just met this dude and he had like this super weird energy. Like he was really feminine, but he was looking at me like I was prey. And then I'm like, wait, this dude has a porn addiction. I just knew in my soul, I was like, this guy has a porn addiction. He's addicted to porn. He ejaculates probably all the time. Like, he's wasting his semen. Of course, he's going to go into the extreme of the feminine, which is hypersexuality. And it looks a little bit creepy, right? And men and women too as well, but it's a little bit different for men. It was a really weird experience, but it really was like, man, like when men waste their seed and they waste their life force, of course, they're going to be internally more feminine and their testosterone is going to lower, so their voice is going to get more high pitched, and they're going to look more like baby, right? Like they have no like their facial hair, nothing, like they begin to lose their masculine features. So anyways, I hope that story actually makes you consider retaining your seed. So let's talk about number 6, which is speak with integrity and discernment. Okay, this is all about exercising the throat chakra. So men have this ability to move and direct energy with their voice. Now, this could be a double-edged sword because as a man, your voice has the capability to awaken so many people, but it also has the ability to wound so many people, depending on how you use it. So it's very important to have that connection to your heart chakra before you even try to speak, literally, okay? This is, I see this a lot with Andrew Tate, because sometimes I look at Andrew Tate and I'm just like, man, like, your message sometimes is actually really good, but you said it in a terrible way. Like, you really did just say it with zero empathy, okay? So then it doesn't get across to people. And it's very important for men to use their voices more. And part of being a man is also being a good leader. Even if you're not looking to like manage a bunch of people or like run a business, it doesn't matter. Like, be a leader in your own life. But in order to be a leader, you need to speak with discernment and speak with integrity when you're speaking to others. Have compassion in your heart, but be direct and have discernment. And in order to build that type of leadership in your life, you want to be more grounded, more clean with the way that you say things, more direct, okay? So a good exercise I recommend you to do is, of course, journal. Okay, oh my God, that handwriting is so bad. Develop your ideas more, brainstorm more, develop your ability to communicate clearly, right? Because you can have a bunch of ideas, but if you don't know how to communicate them clearly, you're not really gonna get them across. Also, another thing about this, reflect on what you say as well. Don't just, blur out words. Begin to actually think about the things that you're gonna say. Take pauses when you speak. Breathe more, okay? Be more grounded in the way that you communicate. And also, discernment is super important. If you want to communicate with discernment, you need to have discernment overall in your life. And discernment is part of actually building that masculine energy and strengthening it, right? The protector. So set boundaries. Set clear boundaries in your life. If people are crossing your boundaries at work, in relationships, in friendships, set the boundaries. Tell them, hey, I don't like how this is working. I would like for you to actually do this, or I don't really like that you're doing this, etc. Begin to set more boundaries in your life. Because when you let people cross boundaries in your life and you just ignore it, you are going to diminish your throat chakra. You're going to start blocking it, because this is not just about communicating truth. This is also about seeing, accepting, and integrating truth. And if you know that something's wrong and you're not doing anything about it, you are ignoring truth. All right, so before step number 7, if you're enjoying this video, you're finding it very valuable, go ahead and subscribe, because you're absolutely gonna love my page. I teach you how to master your mind, master your reality through the law of duality. And of course, if you're looking to fast track your entire journey and magnetize the life that you know you deserve, you can go ahead and check out the ways that we can work together below. Anyways, so number 7 is to create structure. So the male body functions on a 24-hour testosterone cycle where it rises in the morning and it falls in the evening. It's super important for you to function with this cycle, okay? Women are not the only ones that should be syncing up to their bodies. Men too, and we work very differently. So begin to actually work with more structure, more routines, more systems, and make sure that you're that your structures are actually following purpose. The way that we have evolved as human beings has been around structure, but a very toxic one, okay? I don't actually think that human beings are meant to be in the very hardcore 9 to 5 rigid systems that, you know, we have right now in the world. I find those to be very toxic, and that is more of like the control aspect of the masculine energy. You also don't want to be there, okay? It's very important for you to align with purpose when it comes to structure, for you to still feel through your energy and build routines and rhythms that actually work more with, you know, something that makes you happy. But yes, men do thrive on systems. Men do thrive on routines. So begin to build them out. Get a whiteboard, okay? Get a whiteboard. Plan your week out. Make sure that the things that you do are very aligned with your heart, or you can at least find the heart within the activities that you do if you do work a 9 to 5, right? Actually see like how you are impacting or like the beauty of those things so you can enjoy them a little bit more. That way you actually do feel more aligned with the structure. So see what you're good at, see what you want to do in life, begin to see the steps that you can take towards it, write them down, reverse engineer your goals, okay, and see what you can do day by day. Take it one day at a time, and you will see the immense results that you begin to create in your life. All right, so the last step is to protect what you love. Remember, be the warrior of light. You are here to protect the things that you create, that you build, that you love, the people that you love, your woman, right? Your mother, your siblings, etc. Be that person that discerns toxicity, that says no to things that are negative, toxic. Remember, Aries is the god of agriculture as well, to make life habitable, okay? So for example, if you have a partner, definitely work towards providing, even if she's like already providing for herself. It's very important for you to work around those things because it helps you actually up your masculine energy. Of course, I understand when men are building themselves up, it's not possible to provide for a partner, right? But doing little things that make life special is super important for men, right? Doing little things that make your partner's life easier as well. When I met my partner, he didn't have any money, okay? He was very poor actually. And we met in Chile because he's from Chile and Peruvian. And the thing about that is that I took a chance on him because I saw his ambition. I saw that I could help him actually build his life. And I believed in him, and I didn't expect him to use like the last cent that he had to take care of me. I knew his ambition, and he showed me every single day towards working on his goals, towards making life, you know, he would still get me flowers, or if he couldn't afford flowers, man, like he would go and pick them, right, from like the bushes. And he would take me on dates still and make life special in a way, right? Doing what he can to actually take off the weight from my back. And eventually, obviously now we're both very successful. So it's very important to see it. Don't see it black and white. Okay, if you have a partner, work towards, you know, the ability to provide for them in the future. Okay, but the fact that they can see you doing that every single day, man, I promise you it's gonna change the relationship completely. Okay, the dynamic is gonna be so powerful. But of course, with your discernment, right? Protect what you love. It's not just your partnership. If you see that your partner genuinely is not a good person, or they're taking advantage of you, or they're treating you bad, right? That's also part of protecting what you love, yourself. Okay, so discern if that person is the correct person for you. This means taking full responsibility over yourself to guard your space from negativity, from distractions, right? What are you getting distracted by in your space? Right? Or do you have negative habits that are really not good for you and that are getting in the way of the things that you want, or toxic people, right? This is what I mean with protect your space, okay? Not just with your partnership, but with your entire life, okay? You want to discern what is meant to stay and what is meant to go. Anyways, this was a really powerful lesson, a full-blown like breakdown. Definitely in the future, I'm gonna be making more videos about it, because this obviously on YouTube, you can only do so much with explanation. The divine masculine is such a large concept, but I am really excited for you to take action on this. So please take action, because your life is going to completely change, guys. Like, the ability to master your masculine energy as a man is going to help you create the life that you're truly meant to live. Not just a life created out of the ego, but one that is out of God's will. So trust me, try this out. Let me know how it goes in the comments as well. And if you have any questions, please comment them below so I can help you out. Anyways, this stuff is what I'm actually helping men do in my 12-week transformation blueprint, where I'm helping men just like you who want to step out of survival mode and go into their authentic power to reclaim their ability to create reality and actually make it happen. All through the mastery of duality, and since I just opened doors to men, I'm doing a early bird access for you guys, and click the link below to book a free strategy session with my team and let's map out your breakthrough. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. My name is Ira Morphy and I'll see you on the next video.